a new job now. Hello everybody and good evening and welcome to the madness. It's the Champions League final qualification group game, league game. Everybody kicks off at the same time. The league table is going to be right next to you and you can start to see just how chaotic and exciting this could be. Not only that, we've got transfer mayhem going on as well because we've got what was that? We've got Arsenal putting in offers for Ollie Watkins. Talk to me about that. I don't understand what that's all about, really. I really don't. And we've got, I don't know what's going on here. We've got 9 to 16. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Let me just get this sorted out. This should have been sorted, really. League up to 16. Good stuff. Okay, thank you everybody for tuning in. So I say we're doing a featured game here. It's very difficult to do a featured game because there are so many games going on. There is a massive league table, a Champions League table, which has been flying around there. It does say Manchester City against Club Brugge, but I've got Villa Celtic on, and we've got the ability to flick between so many different games. The status of this really is the jeopardy that Manchester City are in. 24 teams will qualify. Obviously, between 8 and 24, you play a qualifier next month. But the jeopardy is that Manchester City, if they were to not win, could be in real big trouble. They've got 8 points, and they're 2 points off 24th. So I think I'm right in saying, we'll go through it all in a minute. I think I'm right in saying that they should be able to go through if they win based upon the permutations there, which, well, I'll show you on the screen. This is what I mean. It's going to be excitingly chaotic. And we've got a very exciting sponsor I need to speak about in a moment as well. But there's just so much here. It's really difficult to try and... There we go. So that's Man City. They're at the top there of the 25 down. They're in the jeopardy zone with 8 points. But they obviously are not qualifying in that situation. Stuttgart is where they need to be. But Stuttgart have 2 points more than them. Now, the way the fixtures are working is that you're sort of looking at Stuttgart, Sporting, PSG, Benfica, Club Brugge. But that's the big one. They don't need to care about the 4 below. If they beat Club Brugge, they've got better goal difference, they'll pop in. So it really does come down to just beating Club Brugge. Anything else that's going on doesn't actually matter that much for them. Hi, Mark. I was so excited for tonight. Not anymore. Fuming at Arsenal bidding for before a massive game. Duran likely to Saudi. Too much chaos. Might lose, says Jack Wheeler. Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about that Ollie Watkins thing. We'll certainly talk about that. I think it's a bit out of order of Arsenal, if I'm being completely honest, to do what they've done on a Champions League night. I'm sure Emery doesn't want that sort of thing going on. PSG have to win at Stuttgart as well. Look, we're covering it all. We've got everything covered. It's going to be very exciting. And certainly looking forward to seeing how it pans out. But you know, there is other things going on, of course, and I think that's really interesting as well. Hold on a minute. Sorry, I'm getting messages about this transfer as I'm talking here. Go. Okay. Well, I'm getting messages coming in all the time here. Look, what was I going to say? I'm getting all sorts of stuff coming in about Ollie Watkins. Bloody hell. 74 million. That is absolutely crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So, yeah, that is absolute madness. I can't believe it. Okay, we're back. Okay, sorry about that. There was just some stuff going on in the background. Apologies. All right, I'm on the game now. I'm not on the game. I'm not available. Hi, Mark and all. Back in Amsterdam after a week and a half long trip to South Asia. Feels good to be back in these shows, says Rub. And David Martinez says, do you think Brian Clough could have had the same impact if he was managing a club today? That's a weird question. And I suppose it's like saying, could Sir Alex Ferguson be successful in the modern day? I don't know. I think football has moved on and not necessarily on the pitch. I just would question whether Sir Alex or a Brian Clough could be successful in the modern day, because look at Jose Mourinho. I think players have become more empowered. I think agents have become more powerful. And I look at someone like Sir Alex Ferguson and how he would have dealt with someone like Mino Raiola, with Paul Pogba and people like that. I think players have become more powerful, and those types of managers ruled the roost. And it's difficult to do that. But then you look at somebody like Amorim and Pep and maybe, Arteta as well. It just depends whether you can get hold of the right players that want to work hard. I don't know where this Watkins stuff is going on about, by the way, but I feel I need to talk about it. Aston Villa. Let's have a look at Aston Villa. So Aston Villa this is the top 8. These are the people that are going to go in to the next stage as it stands. So Leverkusen, Atalanta, 13, 14 points. Milan, 15 points. You then go down to the people who could get in there. And as you can see, there's a lot of teams that could bump past the likes of Leverkusen because they're on the same points. Villa, Monaco, Feyenoord, Lille. There are other, Brest. All these teams could do it. Aston Villa have a huge game against Celtic coming in. And, what a night for Arsenal to be putting a bid in for Aston Villa's striker. I'd be absolutely fuming if I was an Aston Villa fan. Now, I'm not digging Arteta or Arsenal out. You've got to look after yourself. There's no rules to say that you can't do it. But it's a massive game for Aston Villa tonight. Probably their biggest game in years, and they haven't been able to do anything about it. So I think it's a bit naughty from Arsenal, really. I was surprised. Why couldn't it have come in tomorrow morning? But what I will say is, and if you listen to the Goldbridge Saves Football podcast, or you watch That's Football on the regular, and you're all very, very welcome, is it's weird for me because I've said it for so long, it's almost become like a cliche. But I've said for probably 18 months, maybe even longer, if you put Ollie Watkins up front for Arsenal, they'll win the league. And that's not because I think Ollie Watkins is the best striker in the world. I just used Ollie Watkins as an example that you don't need to go and get Erling Haaland. I just think if Arsenal had a striker that can put the ball in the back of the net, they would be a better team. And the funny thing is, I would actually quite like to see Ollie Watkins at Arsenal because it's the experiment I've used for 18 months, flippantly, that would then play itself out. And if it didn't work, I'd have to say, well, I got that wrong. It's funny that they've gone for Watkins. I never thought they would, because Ollie Watkins is 29. Ollie Watkins is 30 this year. I know a lot of Aston Villa fans because I live around the Birmingham area. And a lot of them this season are saying the future is Duran. This could be Watkins' last season before he sort of plays a lesser role. But then you've got, if I'm Aston Villa and you think that, I'm cashing in £60 million for a 29-year-old. Maybe push them up a little bit more. But if they've offered 74 million, I'm thinking, you know, that's very, very interesting. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe, by the way. JM says, Mark, me and the missus watch the channel and are debating whether to get a takeaway. I say yes. She says I need to cook. Can you be the deciding vote? Well, JM, I've got some very exciting news to tell the people who follow this channel and my content for a long time, which I'll tell you in a minute, but from something I've been doing today. But something else I did today was cooking. I like to cook, and I cooked the best chili I've ever cooked. I'm really rubbish at chili. I'm brilliant at lasagna, spaghetti bolognese. It's a bolognese. And I've always struggled at how you take a bolognese to a chili, because for me, it just ends up being a bolognese with kidney beans in it. Today, I made an absolute banging chili. Kidney beans, black peas, red peppers, exclusively just that. Cumin, chili powder, minced beef. It was absolutely delicious. Get a takeaway. Get a takeaway. It's too late to be cooking. Too late to be cooking. Sure, Watkins to Arsenal's not going to happen with Duran to Al Nassr. Fabrizio tweeted in the last hour. Yeah, I think Duran going. And I thought Boniface was going to Al Nassr. You know what? I just do not. I'm going to say this. This is a place. I said this on January the 1st. We've built an amazing community. It continues to grow all of the time. But one thing, you've seen it today. We've seen it this week. We won't not say what needs to be said, even if it, generates conversation. And I'm just going to say it. If Duran goes to Al Nassr, and this is what Fabrizio said, Al Nassr on the verge of reaching a verbal agreement with Aston Villa for Duran for 75 million with add-ons. But formal steps need, as Al Nassr have advanced negotiations with Boniface with Bayer. Only one striker will join. I mean, this is a player that we were celebrating scoring scoring goals this season in the Premier League and going, this is what the Premier League is all about. And if this player goes and plays in Saudi, I'm sort of like, look, I've got nothing against the Saudi League. I've got nothing against Duran, but I can say what I'm about to say. It's a shame. It's a really big shame that a young player of that talent is going to Saudi. You are going to fuck up your development. You are playing in the best league in the world. You are not the finished article, and you are going to Saudi, which is just nowhere near as good as Duran, as the Premier League. And you've been playing in the Champions League as well. We've kicked off, by the way. The lad's only 21. 21 years of age, not completed his development, and you're off to Saudi. I just think, I'm allowed to have my opinion. I think it's a crying shame. A crying shame. And it's just another indicator of what money is doing to football, in my opinion. And it's disgusting. I'm never going to watch. I don't watch the Saudi League. I don't watch the MLS. I didn't watch the Chinese League. I'm not going to watch it. So these players just disappear. They disappear. They go. I just don't. Look, it's happening with. They want it to happen with snooker. They're doing it with boxing. They want it to happen with darts. Are we really going to end up in a situation where all the best players in the world are playing in a Saudi League just because they're minted? I mean, it's just weird to me. It's just weird. The fabric of our game is not it going to Saudi. I think the Saudi League has every right to try and build it, but we've got every right to say there are traditions and leagues and everything here that how would they ever do a Champions League over there? It would just become it wouldn't be a Super League, it'd be a bloody Saudi League, wouldn't it? And that jeopardizes the very fabric of all our clubs, whether it be Liverpool, Arsenal, Real Madrid, etc. Robbo says it is a shame, but it's his funeral if he wants to go there. Well, it's not his funeral, is it? He'll be ecstatic with the money. Club Brugge are in down the left-hand side here. Go for goal. Cut in. Why are you running straight? Twat. Absolute twat. Why didn't he angle his run? He was offside. No, he's not. He's onside. Why did he... What was it? Who is this number 8 for Club Brugge? Why didn't he angle himself in? Why did he run straight? He should have angled it in. The Man City player wasn't going to catch him. You're an idiot, mate. Oh, don't shake your head. You're crap. You're absolute expert. It says expert on your back. Pratt on your fucking sponsor. What was he doing? Why was he running in a straight line? All he had to do was angle his run. He's in. Oh, tell you what. That's absolutely incredible. It's a shame. In a chili, you need an arse load of chili powder. I put some chili powder in it, Josh. Don't you worry about that. We have to win Europa League, Mark. Champions League anthem's giving me chills. United need to be part of this as AMG. If United could afford it, I'd pay 80 million for Watkins. 29 is peak for a striker, says Marty. We haven't got a good record with 29-year-olds recently, though. Arsenal had to put the bid in as Duran deal is close with Saudi. So if they make the offer now, then Villa can decide. Oh, that's a good point, Declan, actually. That is a good point. I don't think Arsenal have done it to derail Villa. You make a good point. Villa are 1-0 up against Celtic! Oh, it's a goal and it's Morgan Rogers, I tell you. Celtic are 1-0 down. Villa are 1-0 up. We've got our first goal in the Champions League. And I tell you what... It's a goal. It's a goal, and it's a goal for Aston Villa. It's lovely play. 1-0 Villa, and Villa Park erupts in the biggest of games. They want to be in the top 8. They don't want to be playing a qualifier, and they are going to be in the top 8 as things stand, of course. But it's good play. I saw it out the corner of my eye because I'm watching another game here, but let me just have a look. Down the left-hand side, overlap. He's onside. I think it's Dinier. Does good stuff here. Plays a one. I tell you what, it's lovely play by Villa. That's a great goal. I love that sort of a goal. Ramsey plays well, cuts it back. Digne, Ramsey, Digne, Ramsey, Ramsey, Rogers. Goal. 1-0 to the Villa. Lovely stuff. Lovely start. Great stuff. Yeah, we've got our first goal. Well, we haven't got our first goal. Inter Milan are 1-0 up against Monaco, and Lille are 1-0 up against Feyenoord, and Atletico Madrid are 1-0 up against Salzburg. Keep an eye on these league tables. They're going to go crazy. They're going to go absolutely crazy. Aston Villa there, straight into 6th. That's how it looks at the moment. Aston Villa straight up into the top 8, winning at the moment. And Lille are in there as well. There's going to be a lot of change because I tell you what, a few minutes ago, Leverkusen and Atalanta were both in the top 8. They're not anymore. Of course. It's 2-0 to Villa. What's going on? I thought it was a replay. I saw Morgan Rogers celebrate and I thought they were still showing us the replay. It's 2-0 to Villa. What's going on with Celtic? Scooby-Doo. What's going on here? Bloody hell. Trying to play out from the back. Suicide. Oh, keeper with a shit kick. Villa. They've come out like a bonfire. They're on fire. Lovely little... I tell you what, it's lovely football. And Morgan Rogers... Morgan Rogers should not be scoring from there, though. What a hit. I mean, he hits it so well, but... Keeper shouldn't get beat. Should he get beat from there? Bit of a deflection, I think. Bit of a deflection. This happened to them against Dortmund, didn't it? No, he can't save it. He's at full stretch. Sorry. I thought the PSG are winning 1-0 against Stuttgart as well. They need to win. I thought it was a replay. Rogers has literally just scored. I'm just trying to see what Leverkusen and Atalanta have got to do. Leverkusen are at home to Sparta Prague, so they should be okay. Atalanta, where are Atalanta? Bloody hell, it's such a long list. Bloody hell, Atalanta are at Barcelona. They might be playing a qualifier. Let's get real. But Villa, comfortably at the moment. I think we need to get rid of these teams tonight, don't we? Who gives a shit about Man City's team tonight? I don't think let's get rid of it. It's just clutter. Don't need the stats. Let's just keep it. Smash a like if you think I should just keep it on the league tables. There's 4 going round. Let's just keep it on that. I think that's the best thing to do. Yeah, Villa 2-0 up against Celtic. Still 0-0 Man City and Brugge. Chat's just catching up with itself here. 13,000 watching. I think it's going to be a big night tonight. Villa are in 6th at the moment, as you can see. A win might not be enough for Villa, but it certainly puts a cat amongst the pigeons. Thank you very much for your super chats that have come in. Robbo96 was talking about Duran there. Got an Ornstein bomber coming in here. Let's have a quick look at this. It's all going on. You know what? It's quite annoying. This is not good for the Champions League because we're here to be talking about the Champions League and we're getting bloody massive transfers going off as well. What's going on? John Duran is set for medical in London on Thursday before proposed move from Aston Villa to Al Nassr. 77 million euros plus add-ons agreed. Arsenal made approach for Ollie Watkins on Monday. It's quickly rebuffed. So, yeah, they're not going to get Ollie Watkins, are they, Arsenal? But you know what, Arsenal fans? You know what it does do? It shows you've got the money and it shows you that you had the money. And that's the thing. If you come out, I'll probably do a video on this tomorrow. It's more of a short video. But if you come out of this transfer window without a striker, the question has to be, you're not Man United. You know, you're not broke. You clearly had the money and you didn't do it. And that's really on whoever. That's on Arteta, that's on the club. You've got the money for a striker and you didn't go and get one. And I'm telling you now, if you offered Sporting Lisbon 60 million for Gyökeres, they might do it. If you offered Napoli 60 million for Osimhen, they'd do it. So maybe they should have done that, Arsenal. I think they look foolish now because they've gone for Watkins too late. Lots of goals going in. Villa 2-0 up. Bayern Munich are 1-0 up against Slovan Bratislava. Brest are 0-0 against Real Madrid. Inter still 1-0 up against Monaco. Lille 1-0 up against Feyenoord. And Atletico Madrid 1-0 up against Salzburg. PSG 1-0 up against Stuttgart. What is that doing for the league table as things stand at the moment? Well, the jeopardy down the bottom is really with, well, PSG. PSG, where are PSG? Are they big movers here? I get the feeling that PSG might be on page 2 now. Let's have a look. Yeah, PSG have gone up to page 2. 16th place with 13 points. Stuttgart, Club Brugge. Man City just need to win. Man City win, they'll go past Club Brugge. That will put them into the top 24. But at the moment, that's not where they are at the moment. Got a good goal difference, Man City, as well. Of course, Liverpool are playing. I mean, we won't really mention Arsenal, Barcelona, and Arsenal because they're going to cruise through anyway. Arsenal are away to, hey, Girona. And Liverpool, I don't even know who Liverpool are playing for. They're going for the 100. They're going for the 100% record. Liverpool. Who are Liverpool playing? God, this list is massive. PSV. They're playing PSV, going for the 100% record. Right, back to the chat. Tim with a super chat says, the reason Arsenal don't buy players is because the Kroenke family are way cheaper than the Glazers. They're notorious for being cheap. But then you go and put an offer in of 60 million for a striker and it's late in the window. Baron has gifted a membership. Thank you very much. Matthew Lunn has gifted 5 memberships. You're a legend. Hi, Mark. Which game should I watch? Says Kill. I think tonight, Man City Club Brugge is interesting until Man City score. Villa Celtic was interesting, but they're 2-0 up. And there's a lot of other games going on as well. I think the jeopardy will start. Still getting messages about Ollie Watkins. Looks like Duran is going to Saudi. Shame. Such a shame for a 21-year-old to be going to Saudi Arabia. I think it's a... Well done to Saudi. I mean, you've got to say that their ambition is to bring top young players in, but you're going to need about 500 of them to make your league relevant. So I think it's a shame. I think that's a loss for the Premier League to lose a young talent like that. But... Hi, Mark. Which game should I watch? Thank you very much, Kill. It's a shame, says Robbo96. Thank you very much for your super chats. Juve and Benfica. What a save by Chesney. Side netting from Foden. Big game for Man City. Chazzy with a bit of slow sports news. Arsenal bid for Watkins. Michael Dunn says, Duran, it's called greed and a lack of love for the sport. So look, open the conversation. What do you think of Duran at 21 leaving the Premier League in his breakout season to go and play in Saudi? What do you think about that? He's not the first to go and do it. I never understood it when Oscar and Romero went from Chelsea to China. Never heard of them again. Don't know whether they ever came back. Ramirez, sorry, not Romero. Look, I wouldn't say I don't respect it. I just think it's a shame. I think it's a real shame when you know. But to some people, money is their god. I'm not a professional footballer, so I can't walk in those shoes. But all I know is, as a kid, I didn't dream of going to, America or China or Saudi Arabia and earning $500,000 a week. I dreamt of playing in the European Cup final and winning titles and playing against the best. Some people dream of just money. You might come from a really poor background and it's like this, money is my God. There'll be some people in the chat who are like that. Actually, that reminds me, by the way, I was mentioning this and I will mention this. Today, I was out driving with Goldbridge with a camera. And it's ready to go tomorrow on my channel. And I'm very, very, very excited to get it up. Red card for Monaco, says Sass. Tim says, you look stressed. I feel bad. I'd love to give you a back massage. I'm not sus, by the way. I'm straight. I just love to ease you. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't let you do that, mate. Sorry. You're just stressed. Arsenal 30 million for Rashford, says Kirk. Do 40 and it's a deal. It's all Man City in this game. Bruges need to score. They're not going to get a clean sheet. Offside, Gundogan. Offside, Gundogan. Offside, Gundogan. Yes, you're offside. Have that. He thought he'd scored. You're offside by about a week, mate. Any more goals coming in? Well, we've got the stats carousel going around with the team, with the league table at the moment. Man City are still in the red zone. I thought Man City had scored. It's flashing goal, but obviously we're watching the game. Benfica have scored against Juventus. That's the latest goal to go in. Dortmund have scored against Shakhtar. They're 1-0 up. Celtic obviously losing 2-0 to Villa. Barcelona, Atalanta are 0-0. Bayern are 1-0 up against Slavan Bratislava. Brest and Real Madrid are 0-0. Zagreb and Milan are 0-0. Dortmund have scored against Shakhtar. Inter have just gone 2-0 up against Monaco. I believe Monaco have had a red card. Yes. In the 12th minute. So they're gone. Monaco are gone. Wherever Monaco are, forget about it. You're in big trouble, Monaco. Monaco, you're in danger, girl. Might not be a female football club. Might not identify. Oh, what have I done? Got rid of page 1. Here we go. Where are Monaco? Searching for Monaco. I thought Monaco were in the top 8. Keep going. Keep going down. Am I blind? No, they're 18th, Monaco. They should be okay. They should be okay for qualification, but they ain't going to get a result today. Dortmund are 1-0 up against Shakhtar. Feyenoord are 1-1 with Lille. So Lille are out the top 8 again. Atletico Madrid are 2-0 up against Salzburg. And PSG have got a VAR going on, even though they've been 1-0 up for ages. Dembele, second goal, offside. Barcola making it 1-0. Lots going on. Won't Duran be able to get a good deal in Europe too? He's just 21. I think it's too much greed given the potential. Yeah, I just think it's a weird move, but it's all about the money. This is what the transfer deadline should be making us feel like. The eagerness to refresh and see what's going on and the chaotic nature of it, says Jordan. Mohammed says, all footballers are one bad injury away from retirement. I understand why players like Duran would go for the cash as early as possible. Thank you, Mohammed. Genuinely, not mocking you, genuinely thank you for giving us the other side. Because I don't understand that logic, but you've just put it very, very well. And I do respect that. I completely disagree with it. I would not be thinking at 21, I'm one injury away from retirement. Let me go and earn £500,000 a week in Saudi when I should be developing in the best league in the world, playing in the Champions League. If my agent rang me up and said it's £1 million a week in Saudi, I'd be like, I couldn't give a shit how much it is. I'm not going anywhere. But some people might think like Mohammed said, lager in a mixed grill or cider in a proper pie. I'll have a mixed grill and a lager, Baron. Thank you. Have a feeling if City get eliminated, this will go on a massive run in the league and end up winning it, says Blake. No chance. They got no chance. Oh, what a club Brugge doing, playing out from the back. I tell you what, it won't be long till Man City score here. PSG are 2-0 up. The goal was given. Dembele was not offside on VAR, and it is 2-0 against Stuttgart. Harvey says, that's a bad take, Mark. You're telling me you wouldn't go to Saudi for £1 million a week? Mate, I don't think you understand that some of us aren't money motivated and some of us would love just to play for professional football. Mate, if I'm being paid 100 grand a week to play Premier League football for any Premier League team, and then I get offered £1 million a week to go to Saudi, I'm not going. Not at 21. I'm not going. I'm like, money is not my God. I'm not that interested in money. You know, trust me. You don't need. Happiness is more important than that. And if money can buy you happiness, then go with the money. But I don't need. If I've got 100 grand a week and I'm playing football, I'm happy. I wouldn't be happy playing football in a league like that. I wouldn't. But some people won't understand that and some people would. But I know what makes me happy. And I would be, you know, every day would be a joy to wake up and be a Premier League footballer. I'd absolutely love it. And if I went to Saudi for $1 million, I'd be like selling my soul, really. The money wouldn't, I wouldn't wake up in the morning and go, well, there's £1 million in my bank account. It was worth doing it. I just wouldn't. I'm from Bucharest and I saw the United squad today, says FKX. Lovely stuff. Hopefully be a good game tomorrow. Only Sith Speed in absolutes. Man City no chance winning the league, says Nath Footy. They were, well, obviously technically they can, but I'll tell you now, we'll come back in May and I'll be right. Desiree says, I have a dream. Bruno lifting the Champions League. Hope it happens. I think that will be a dream that I can safely say won't happen. He's 30 years of age and we ain't going to win the Champions League in the next 5 years. So I can't. I think I would happily give £100 bet to you on that one that it won't happen. Flaming Square says John Duran has reached a verbal agreement. Yeah, well, we're going off David Ornstein. I'm a Bournemouth fan. I need Man City to win, says Demino. Explain it. Is that because you want them to keep playing in the Champions League so that it can help you out with top four? Saudi's becoming the home of all sports. It's sad, says Callum United. Look, they've got a right to do what they're doing. 100%. 100%. And there's a lot of people making a lot of money out of it. But at the moment, it's not... it doesn't have the integrity of the Premier League, the La Liga, the Champions League, etc. Can they buy it? We'll have to wait and see. Certainly the plan. They've done it with other sports. Shot by Bernardo Silva just wide. I mean, that's a question. Do you think it's possible that the Saudi League, now that they've stopped buying older players and are starting to buy younger players, how much money have they got? Could they actually start getting 30, 40 top players under the age of 24? And then it starts to get interesting. If they can make a league that people want to watch, that's when it gets interesting. As a Saudi, I completely agree with you, Mark. I genuinely don't understand why not prioritise our own youth, says Zed. I think any successful league has to promote its own youth players. You have to. We did it with the Premier League. We brought a load of players in, but then a load of English players started coming through as well. Matthew Paul says, Duran is leaving the Premier League because Wolves are going down, so the allure of playing against the greatest English team is no more. Hey, Matthew, what did you think it was a red card at the weekend? I spoke to a Wolves fan and they were like, nah, it wasn't. Age is the biggest factor. Arguably, you'd earn more in Saudi after having an established career. It's like settling down in Luton in a much bigger house after living in a flat in Sussex, says Baron. Casemiro was booed today when entering the hotel, says FKX. Really? And Cinema Drunk says, even as a Liverpool fan, this Champions League format sucks. The only interesting game is the City one. Less jeopardy. All the matches are scattered. The return legs were way more exciting. I'm glad that you've said that as a Liverpool fan, because I've got to say, now that we're in this 25 minutes in, it's too chaotic to be interesting. And we've took 8 weeks to get to this point, and actually it's too chaotic to be interesting. We're all, like some of you might be absolutely loving it. We're all living the prototype, but it's too chaotic. Like there's just too much going on. It's like that league is too big to have everybody playing at the same time and go, ooh, like, it's too much. And like you say, I'm sort of the real jeopardy for me is, could Man City go out? If they score, then I don't know where I'll go next. Lots of good comments coming in. Players like Rashford care more about being a footballer than they care about playing football. All about the image, less about the effort, says Joe. Yeah, but Rashford won't go to Saudi. At 27, Rashford won't go to Saudi, and you know why? Because he doesn't want to go to Saudi at this point in his career. He wants to play for England still. He wants to try and prove himself in the best league. So, have you noticed Club Brugge are doing exactly the same goal kick play out from the back as Chelsea tried at the weekend? It's madness, Josh. It's got a lot of people thinking this Duran thing, though. Rami says, until you're actually in that situation, I think it's hard to theorise. You'd start thinking about the good you could do for your family, community, and it may outweigh the value you have on your passion, says Rami. Oh, my uncle passed recently from leukemia. He loved you, says Toby. Well, rest in peace to your uncle. I'm really sad to hear that. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Toby. Chubby Checker 182. Thank you very much for your super chat. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. We've got a stats carousel league table going round at the moment. Villa are 2-0 up against Celtic, so they're comfortably in the top 8 at the moment. Atalanta must be beating Barcelona to be back in there. Yeah, no, they're not. They're drawing. That's weird. It's weird how Atalanta were in there then. They must have. I must have misread that. I thought they'd fallen out. Inter 2-0 up against Monaco. Dortmund 1-0 up against Shakhtar. Where are Dortmund? I need to look at this again. A Dortmund top 8. Just at the moment with 15, Dortmund are top 8. But Munich are 9th. Is there any way Munich could get in there? I presume there is. Munich, Milan, Leverkusen. Leverkusen and Feyenoord, they're not winning, are they? Bayern and Dortmund are actually winning. So they're at the maximum they can be. I think Leverkusen and Feyenoord aren't winning at the moment, I think. So they could bypass them. Leverkusen have just got a penalty, so they could be going back in. Feyenoord are drawing with Lille, I'm right. And Milan, well, Milan are losing to Zagreb. So it is interesting at the moment. Especially if Leverkusen score. Girona have scored against Arsenal. Got a goal coming in for Girona. A penalty for Leverkusen. Liverpool have just scored as well. Going for a 100% record. They're away to PSV. It's Cody Gakpo against his former club. Let's keep an eye on Leverkusen. Have they got a penalty or not? No. I think it's been overturned by VAR. Where's Girona? I know it's in Spain. They must be right down, Girona. Where are they, Girona? They did quite well last year, didn't they? Bloody hell, they must be doing really bad. I knew this was going to happen. Oh, there they are, 29th, Girona. Terrible. They've had a terrible time. Like Leipzig shocked me. They really did. Still 0-0 at the Etihad against Brugge for Man City. I'd have thought they would have scored by now. The only question UEFA will ask when the season is done is, was this commercially successful? Everything else is irrelevant. James, I think let's run a poll. Let's run a poll on this. What do you... Either or. Just keep it at either or. New UCL format. Old UCL format. I'll tell you what. I am doing the Super Bowl. Yes, Iron. I prefer the old format, and I'll tell you why. It was more interesting. I'm not saying it was perfect, but there was more jeopardy. It was more interesting, and it was less games, which is better for football, which is better for entertainment. I don't need 8 Champions League group games. The only people who need 8 Champions League group games is the greedy owners and UEFA. Don't need 8. Less is more. And also, it was more entertaining. So I don't like this format, I've got to be honest, but they'll keep it because of the money. Are you doing the Super Bowl? He says, Iron. Yes, I'm looking forward to it, although I think the Chiefs will win. The only question, that was from James, and it was a very good one. Why do you think UK news outlets continually switch between pounds and euros? Is it to make the price seem bigger or smaller, depending on the narrative they want to sell, says Benny. It's really weird, because in this country, where I've lived most of my life, we've always done it in pounds. Transfers was always in pounds. We never spoke about euros. And also, we're not in Europe. We Brexit left. But we never shut up about fucking euros now. And it's like, it's not our currency either. But you're right. They mix it up all the time. And I think they do manipulate it to make things better. You know, if you want to make a selling fee look bigger, oh, we sold him for 60 million euros. But if you want to make a buying fee better, oh, we only paid £25 million. Good point, Benny Custard. If Saudi offered you 10 million a year to do fan content in Saudi, would you do it, says Ecosphere. 10 million. I don't know. I don't think you know who you're dealing with. I'm going to say the fact that I'm thinking about it is 100% true, because you can't walk in my shoes and you don't know what I'm like. Like, if you said to me, go to Australia for a month and do United Stand and we'll give you $500,000, I'd seriously think about it, because I'd be like, no, I wouldn't necessarily do it, because my surroundings, the people I'm with is really important to my mental health. And if you take me to Australia for a month, you can put 500 grand in my bank account, you can put $1 million in my bank account, but if I haven't got the people and structure around me, my mental health will suffer. And I'm old enough to know that. I'm not like some of you will be kids, you know, you'll be teenagers, 20, whatever. I've lived double that life. I'm in my 40s now, and I know that whilst money is nice, it's not the be all and end all. Happiness is. And look, I'd certainly think about it. 10 million to go and work in Saudi for a year doing fan content, I'd certainly think about it, but it wouldn't be a straight yes, because I'd be thinking, look, what are the circumstances? Because if it's depressing and not very nice, the money ain't going to keep me happy. My mental health is more important. But I don't think a lot of people are going to understand that, to be honest. But look, honestly, I might do it. I might do it. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of money. Cameron says the league is so bad, that's why they offer loads of money. I've never watched a Saudi league game. I genuinely can't. I wouldn't want to slag it off for that reason. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying, if I could take everybody I cared about to Saudi, then, and it was in a nice place, a year's a quick time. That's what I mean. I probably would think about it. But if I had to go on my own, wouldn't do it. Couldn't do it. As much as that money is amazing, I couldn't do it. Who's currently your favourite Premier League player to watch? That's a good question. Get in the chat. That's from Master Mayor. Who's your favourite player to watch? Leverkusen are winning, by the way. This is absolute chaos trying to figure this out. Yeah. You've got to go to page 2 just to see all the score. This format does not work. It's too chaotic. There is jeopardy, but it's diluted by chaos. My favourite player in the Premier League at the moment to watch. I do like Cole Palmer. I can't say Mo Salah because he wears a Liverpool shirt. I'm trying to think. I do like Cole Palmer. A couple of months ago, I really liked Rodgers. Got to be honest. I like technical. I like flair players. Yeah, I do like flair players. I don't want Pogba back at United, but do you think he would suit the United system under Amorim, says TMK? That's a goal kick. Look, I genuinely, I think sometimes it's really difficult because I think some people watch football and some people don't. And I don't think you understand football if you think Paul Pogba can come back and play for Man United. And I say that in the nicest possible way. As a fan of Paul Pogba and how he plays football, he has been banned from football for how long? Oh, good block. Have a bit of confidence, number 68. That was Brugge, by the way. Looks like Curtis Jones. He's like a wish Curtis Jones. Number 68. Yeah, what were we talking about there before that? Paul Pogba. Yeah, Paul Pogba has been banned from football for a year, but in the year before that at Juventus, he couldn't stay fit. And there's people going, let's bring Paul Pogba back, but they're not looking at the fact that he hasn't played. Celtic have got a goal back, by the way. 35 minutes. Villa aren't home and hosed yet. They have probed since going 2-0 down, and it is now 2-1. Celtic get a goal back. I wasn't looking. There are goals going in. Of course there's goals going in. There's too many bloody games going on. Yeah, bit lucky but well reacted. Cross came in, deflected off the Villa defender, McGinn, stuck his foot out, 2-1. Apparently Galatasaray and Rashford is a thing. I don't think he wants to go to Turkey, but unless he's changed his mind. Galatasaray are close to agreeing a deal to sign Rashford on loan until the end of the season, and they are prepared to pay his full wages. I mean, it's a Turkish outlet. I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it, if I'm being honest. Right, let's go back to what's going on. VAR, Atalanta, Barcelona. Oh, they're at it again. Here we go again. I've seen that movie before. Barcelona, you know, shouldn't have been a penalty against Benfica. Should have been a penalty for Benfica when they scored. And now Atalanta are getting VAR treatment. Of course, I've got absolutely no context. It could have been, it might not be a goal. Bayern are 1-0 up. Brest are losing to Real Madrid. A goal there for Rodrigo. Real Madrid will be in the qualifiers anyway. I don't think there's any way. I mean, we haven't spoken about Real Madrid, but I'm pretty sure that Real Madrid can't make it into the top 8. He says. Yeah, well, they maybe could, but it would take a hell of a... I think it would need a lot of teams to lose for Real Madrid to do it. They've got 15 points in 11th place, but as you can see at the moment, a lot of teams have got 16 points, so I don't think it's possible for Real Madrid to do it. I'm sure I read something like there's a 3% chance of it happening. Back to the scores. Arsenal have equalised against Girona. It was offside for Atalanta, and it's 2-2. Celtic are back level at Villa Park. What's going on? Skibidi. Carlsay and Brew made in Scotland from Girders. What's going on here? What's going on? Villa at home, 2-0 up. 2-0 up at home, putting themselves in the top 8. Now, they're not in the top 8, and they're 2-2 with Celtic, and you've got to look at it and say, they've only got themselves to blame here. I haven't seen the goal, I've just seen the back of the net, but so I look at it, he's not being marked very well there at all. The number 9. Yeah, bad defending by Villa. And it's a tap in. Yeah, he just never gets any. Is it Konza? It's not tight enough to him at all the whole way. 2-2. 2-2. Celtic and Villa. Well, that's a turnaround. We're watching the right games here. 0-0, of course. Here come Brugge. Pass it. Pass it. Pass it. Oh, yeah, Curtis Jones wannabe. God, Brugge are shit. Shot from distance. Bayern are winning. Real Madrid are winning. AC Milan are in trouble. They've had a man sent off and they're losing to Zagreb. I think Milan are going to be stuck in the playoff positions. Girona and Arsenal 1-0. Inter and Monaco 2-0, but Monaco down to 10 men, so that's game over there. Benfica are beating Juventus 1-0. Leverkusen are beating Sparta Prague 1-0. Lille have gone back ahead against Feyenoord 2-1, and Liverpool are 2-1 up against PSV. By the way, I've missed those goals. Let's have a quick check. I don't know why that's not loading up. I will tell you in a minute. But Man City struggling to break them down at the moment. Atletico Madrid 2-0 up against Salzburg. Bologna are beating Sporting. PSG are 3-0 up against Stuttgart, by the way. Dominating performance from PSG. 2 wins from 2 after beating Man City last week. There we go. I'm going to be sick. This is some Spurs level choking from Aston Villa, says HPN. Still time, but that's very complacent. Did you see the PSG owner with players post-City game? We never see that at United. Hugged each of the players as they came in, says Ryan. Michael Oliver is the ref in the Barcelona game, says Thomas. Matthew Paul says, I'm a Wolves fan. About the Arsenal red card, I'm torn. I don't think it was a red. For a player to go deliberately for another player's ankle to stop play doesn't sit well with me. Yeah, but it happens all the time. Can you do the Sidemen charity match, says Aryan? You've got to be asked, mate. You've got to be asked to do that. Anthony Gordon is exciting to watch. Underrated too, says Cinema Drunk. Palmer would suit United system, says Robbie. Shinobi Ben says Rashford to Galatasaray. Jide says Mark is loaded if his head isn't turned by 10 million. I don't want Pogba back at United, but I did that one from TMK. Sage is loving this format. Loves the goals. I think it's too chaotic, mate. 39% of you like the new format, 61% of you don't. Completely underrated. What's your thoughts on 442, says Grix? I used to watch it a hell of a lot. I don't get to watch it as much now, but I do like the I do like the... I do like it, yeah. Villa! Get your foot on it. Cleared away by Celtic. Arsenal are 2-1 up against Girona. Nearly 20,000 watching. You're absolute legends. Thank you very much for that. Late tackle by Celtic there. We're in Europe though, aren't we? So nothing happens there. Red card to Milan. Yeah, we covered that, Isaiah. Would you swap Palmer for Garnacho? Says Ronaldo Richards. I'd normally say no to that, to be honest. But in those circumstances, why would you not say yes? You're not selling a young player for PSR reasons. You're swapping them for a player that's one of the best in the Premier League. So I think you'd certainly be open to doing that. Lovely play by Brugge. No options. Edge of the box. Leave it. Goal, Brugge! Get in! What a goal! What an absolute banger! NASA, I've just found a rocket. Get in! Right on half-time. Brugge are beating City 1-0. Absolutely fantastic. There's a long way to go. Calm down. I still think City will find their way back into it. But Brugge are leading at City. Get in, get in, get in. It will come back and haunt us, but we can dream at least. It's a lovely goal. I tell you what, Man City's defence is so shit. They get caught out on the break all the time. This wouldn't happen with Kyle Walker, you know. This is something that I've been saying. Kyle Walker's pace would have helped him here. I don't know what John Stones is doing. Where's their midfield? Lovely hit. I tell you what, there's still a lot to do here when the cutback comes. Lovely goal. Lovely goal by Brugge. Yeah. I tell you what, he's done exactly what he needs to do there. Hit it on target with a bit of power. Best team not to win the Champions League, says Baron. In the Premier League, it'd have to be Arsenal, wouldn't it? I think I'm banned on the United standards. I can't send messages here, but not there, says Ronaldo Richards. I don't know, Ronaldo. We used to be able to check that stuff out, but I don't know. Completely unreal. I've done that one from Grix. Thanks for all your super chats, by the way. Nearly 20,000 watching. There might be a lot more tuning in now. Man City 1-0 down at the Etihad, and they need 2 goals. They can't draw. They need 2 goals. I'm sure they can still do it. It'll be an interesting second half, but at least it makes it exciting. Look at the league table. That's all I'm going to say. Where are Man City? It's half time. And Man City are 26th place. They need to beat Brugge. A draw will not do it. It will not do it. They need to beat Brugge. We will be going through all the half times in a moment, but that's what they're going to need to do. Great stuff. Celtic and Villa are still playing. Yes, they are. We're going to go through all the half times in a moment. City heading out at the moment. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And look, you know what? Looking at that City game, I know there's a lot going on. I'm not watching it as much as I would do if it was just one game. But watching the game as much as I have, the problem with Man City is they're just not that good. I'm sure Man City fans would agree. The problem with Man City is they're just not that good. They don't defend as well. They don't attack as well. They're just not that good. That's the bottom line at the moment. So half times, PSV have just equalised against Liverpool, by the way. Villa, Celtic still playing, but 2-2. Barcelona, Atalanta 0-0. Bayern are half time 1-0 against Slovan. Brest are 1-0 down to Real Madrid. Dinamo Zagreb are 1-0 up against 10-man AC Milan. Dortmund are 2-0 up against Shakhtar. Girona are now losing to Arsenal 2-1. Inter are 2-0 up against 10-man Monaco. Juventus are losing 1-0 at home to Benfica. Leverkusen have the goal against Sparta Prague. They're 1-0 up. Lille 2-1 up against Feyenoord. Man City, as we know, are losing at home to Club Brugge. PSV and Liverpool, as I said, 2-2. Salzburg are 3-0 down to Atletico Madrid. Sporting are losing to Bologna. Sturm Graz are beating Leipzig 1-0. Stuttgart are getting smashed by PSG 3-0. And Young Boys are 0-0 with Red Star. So that league table that's going round shows you as it stands at the moment. And in the top 8, there is no Aston Villa because they have actually lost a 2-0 lead against Celtic as things stand there at the moment. So, yeah, look, lots to happen in the second half. Some of it quite confusing, jeopardy, etc. But that's where we are. I just want to give a big shout out. You've probably seen through the link in the description. You might have seen the QR code in the top right-hand corner. We've got this amazing updating league table going round at the moment. And we are actually sponsored on this stream tonight by FOTMob, the ultimate app for all fans, stats nerds, diehards, casuals, track players, teams effortlessly, notifications, stats, live tables, knockout round brackets powered by FOTMob today. And this is the real-time drama sponsored by FOTMob. So make sure you download it. 20 million users, can't be wrong. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code to check out the FOTMob app. It's your go-to, like a football encyclopedia in your pocket if you want to stay up to date on all the latest transfer news, targets, news, stats, goals, instant updates, in-depth or as shallow as you want. Check it out. FOTMob, link in the description, or scan that QR code in the top left-hand corner. Best teams not to win the Champions League are PSG, Atletico, and Arsenal. Well, I just did Premier League, Rami. Thank you very much for that. Do you think Man City are heading out? Oh, mate. I sort of understand the Bournemouth thing, where they don't want them to go out because they want them to have more games. But I just want Man City to, suffer. I think that'd be great. So, yeah. Look, I couldn't give a toss about anything else. I'd love Man City to lose. I think they'll win, but what I will say about Man City is that I genuinely would pose the question, like, what is it that you think is the problem with Man City? I personally think it's because of Rodri, but I think that is absolutely scandalous on the part of Pep Guardiola that one player, this is the guy that people write books about. This is the guy that apparently is better than Sir Alex. This is the guy that is the Don of football. And you take a holding midfielder out of his system and he needs another £150 million in January. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're a great coach, you can win the title with the likes of Cleverley in your midfield. Like, he can't do it. He just can't do it. They're just not a very good team, Man City. If I was Arsenal, I'd be rubbing my lips together, or hands, about the game on Sunday. But they're just not good enough. PSV are 3-2 up against Liverpool now, by the way. Liverpool's 100% record is in jeopardy. Nick says, great stuff. FOTMob is the best. Only app I've used for 10 years. Not paid, but good brands deserve applause. There you go. Check out FOTMob. And that's just from Nick, who's done a super chat as well. Links in the video description. Give it a go if you haven't. Nick's done a better job than me there. Deep Mixed Nation says, bit random. Anthony Martial not missed any game time since he signed with AEK. Something dodgy going on. Is that serious? I mean, I'm writing that down for tomorrow's show on the United Stand. Also, let us know what you think about City. Don't forget as well, we've had a madness tonight. Arsenal have had a 60 million, reported 70 million bid rejected by Aston Villa for Ollie Watkins. Duran is going to Saudi. I'd rather Duran was staying at Villa. If I was Villa, I mean, have Villa got this wrong? If I was Villa, I'd keep Duran at 21 and sell Watkins to Villa at 29 for 60 million. I mean, have Villa dropped the ball here? Or maybe Duran has put a transfer request in which case you can't do anything about it. But as Villa, surely Villa would be wanting to keep Duran. Dead Zone says Pep out, Goldbridge in, also bring back the career back. Dead Zone, career mode will be back, but guess what's back tomorrow? Driving with Goldbridge, and it's a twist. It's a bit different. It's got series potential. I only did one last year. Nicky Hayen 2 years ago was managing my tiny local Havard West County in Wales, and is now beating Pep. Guardiola is finished, says Matthew. I watched the interview the other day where someone asked what your inspiration was for the name De Cesare, and you said it's my name. Hilarious clip, says Joe Coleman. Those were the days. Kickoff. Those were the days. How did that fall apart? I mean, it fell apart when they stopped having me on. You know, I don't actually agree the final incarnation of the kickoff was the best era of the kickoff. But those were good days. Best team not to win the Champions League, PSG, Atletico or Arsenal. Thank you very much for that. Keep your chats coming in. Liverpool is losing, says Emmanuel. I need a Villa win for my bet, says Jam. Villa fans need a win to get in the top 8 and not have to play another qualifier. If Spurs could only sign one player in order to get back on track, who does that, says Infinity. You need more than one. You need more than one. Liverpool are playing their B team, apparently, and that is why that is happening. Let me just double check that. Liverpool are PSV, and their lineup is... Bloody hell. Kelleher, Bradley, Kwanzaa, Robertson, Tsimikas, Elliott, Endo, McConnell, Chiesa, Dans, Gakpo. Yeah, come on. This is what I mean. We don't have the context because it's so chaotic, but that is Liverpool reserves. So, yeah, there's no... If Slot's putting a team out like that, he doesn't give a shit, does he? So, maybe they could have gone for the 100% record, but what does it do? You're going to finish top anyway, aren't you? So, very, very, very much that. If City don't qualify, I'll have an orgasm, says Mita. And is it too early to call City a load of prats yet, says Ryan? Well... There is a Man City in crisis video ready to go at full time, but I'm not gonna get too excited about it yet. I still think as the home team, they've got plenty of chance to get back into it. Mikael says, hi Mark, I have a bet right now, and City is the only team losing from the 7 teams placed. I'd win over $600, but I'd rather have City lose. United. You see, money isn't everything, Mikael. That's what we're talking about. John Duran at 21 years of age, going off to the Saudi League, for me, it's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. I've just noticed something here. I'm an idiot. But obviously I'm talking to you, I'm reading the chat, I'm watching games. I don't actually look at what's happening on my streaming screen. So obviously, when I look at my streaming screen, I can see the score, Man City 1-0 against Brugge, get in. I can see the league tables being updated as it goes round, absolutely fantastic. What I wasn't seeing is this ticker with all the scores going across the bottom, which I think is a fantastic touch with all the games going on. I mean, you could literally just be watching the league go round and the ticker going on the bottom and looking at me and chatting away. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, as I said, massive shout out to FOTMob. Download it through the link in the description or scan the QR code. I think it's an app that you will really enjoy. There are lots of apps out there, of course, but I think just give FOTMob a go. It's a cracker, and it's been great working with them on this. And you know, we've been planning it for a while with the integration and everything that's going on. It's chaotic. It is chaotic. But to be fair, it's almost 50-50 on the new Champions League format and the old format. So there we go. I personally think that my issue with the Champions League format in this current incarnation is that it's a very long road for a chaotic end. We have 8 weeks instead of 6, and throughout those 8 weeks, you don't really know what's going on. And then in the final week, something's going on, but you don't really know what's going on. Whereas in the old group format, there were, all right, what was there, 6 leagues of 4? So 24, was it? Is that what used to happen? But there were, all right, some groups were boring, but some of them were actually quite interesting. Whereas with this, it's like, it's chaos, I think. The new format is chaos and exciting, but I was brought up on ITB Champions League, and for me, that old format cannot be beaten. We won't be going back to it. This is just a pure fan opinion. We won't. It's not up for debate. The Premier League, the Champions League, will probably make this bigger. I would say in 5 years' time, it will go bigger, not smaller. This is about money, isn't it? So, do you think Ollie Watkins would be a good fit for Arsenal or Jonathan David? Says Abhinav. I'm actually disappointed that Ollie Watkins isn't going to Arsenal, because if you listen to the Goldbridge Saves Football podcast with me and Will, we often talk about Arsenal, and over the last 18 months, I have said, put an Ollie Watkins up front for Arsenal and win the league. And they actually bid it. I would love to have just seen if that experiment was true. He was the quintessential player that I said. I don't think he's the player that Arsenal should sign. I just think that a striker is what they need to strike. So I always used to say, if you put Ollie Watkins up front, they'll be a better team. I didn't mean go and buy Ollie Watkins. I just mean a striker. So I would like to have seen it. Taylor says, Taylor, thanks for your super chat. He says, have you ever considered doing a video showing the setup you have in your room for the United stand in this channel? Taylor, that will happen one day. But once I do it, it's done. So I meant to do it for my old setup on the day I moved out, and I wish I had, but one day we'll do it, yeah. Covering all these games is a great trial for a Goldbridge Soccer Saturday, covering the 3 p.m s. We already do that, Matthew, on 3 p.m. I love it. We're doing it again this weekend. I like doing the 3 p.m s. Ours is better than theirs. Much better. Better personality, better conversation, and that's just you. Okay, please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We've got over 20,000 watching as we head into the second half. We are only 23 subscribers away from 296,000 on the road to 1.3 million. Make sure you subscribe. Daily content on the That's Football channel. Had a video out this morning about the PGMOL and how they've lost. I mean, I tell you what, if you haven't seen it, absolutely incredible. On the Premier League website, when explaining what a high foot challenge is, they've got a picture of Doku fouling McAllister, which actually wasn't given as a foul. Bad day for the PGMOL. That's been up there for a few days. When I went to check it this morning, I thought surely they've taken it down. They've still kept it up. So the Premier League official website has a picture of Doku studding McAllister in the chest, and they use it as an example of what a high foot challenge is. It didn't get given by Michael Oliver or VAR. It's just, you couldn't write it. You couldn't write it. It's absolutely incredible. Anyway, thanks everyone for subscribing. Get involved with That's Football daily content, like I say, and lots to get involved with. Is anybody kicking off for second half yet? No. The jeopardy really for me, as we look at this league table now, is those teams that have lost players. AC Milan did have a chance of going into the top 8. They're losing and they're down to 10 men, so forget it. At the moment, Lille are beating Feyenoord. Leverkusen are winning as well. Atletico are winning. Inter are winning. Atalanta are drawing. So I'd say if you're trying to get back in, Atalanta is probably the teams on this page chance. Dortmund are, I think, winning. Bayern Munich are winning. Real Madrid are winning. Milan are losing. That's what I mean. Milan have choked the most, because if they could have just drawn, they'd be potentially into the top 8. But Villa, if they can win, they would go up to 16 points. And that, I think, puts them into the top 8 again. Yes, it does, because Atalanta have got a plus 14, but they haven't got 16 points. So Atalanta are 15 points with a plus 14 goal difference. Is that vulnerable? No. No one's going to get anywhere near that. Dortmund, Bayern, Real Madrid have got 15 points, but they're all winning. Of course, if Atalanta lose to Barcelona, that puts Dortmund in on goal difference. But if Villa can win, they will leapfrog Atalanta and everybody. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Dortmund can't do any more than that. They can't do any more than that because they're already winning. That's as it stands. But Villa are drawing. They could go up. PSV are winning. They can't go any higher than 14. Club Brugge are winning. They can't go any higher than that. And PSG are winning, so they can't go any higher than that. So really, it's about Aston Villa now. It's Aston Villa or Atalanta. Unless Aston Villa don't win, Atalanta lose, and then it's Dortmund. So that's how it's looking there. Obviously, the fun seats are here. We have kicked off with Man City. Sporting are just in at the moment, but Man City need to win to have any chance, and they are currently losing, and Stuttgart are losing as well. So Stuttgart aren't going to win. They're winning 3. They're losing 3-0. That is where we are at the moment. Make sure you get your comments in. Man City have kicked off for the second half. I just need to do the timer. Shimone. They've just missed a big chance. I wasn't even looking. De Bruyne. Oh, I tell you what, he's not far off. Pebbles. I thought he'd scored. John Stones there. Mingale seemed to know it wasn't going in. You know what? Pep Guardiola does spit a lot, and he doesn't have any spit. Dry spit. He's on a constant dry January, which I hate. I can't get the timer here. 24, 25, bang. There we go. Okay, let's get that stats carousel rooming around. I'm creating a channel about PGMOL contradiction, says Bailey. Remember that you get more money if you finish first, says Vilma. Yeah, well, they will finish first, Liverpool, anyway, won't they? The way they kept that image is almost shithousery, says Mr. Waz. And Sporting have fallen off a cliff since Amrim left, says Mark. Galatasaray are close to signing Rashford, says Annie World. I don't believe the source at the moment. And I missed the group of death in the old format, says A to win. Have you ever considered doing a video? I've done that one, haven't I, from Taylor? Thank you very much. Stone just missed a sister, says Jaeger. Yes, he did. Not a sister, a sitter. Right, I think I'm gonna put this plaster on my foot. Basically, I've got this injury on my foot. It's crazy. I think I've had it before. I don't know whether it's an age thing. The heel on my foot is just so dry that the skin has cracked on the back of my foot, and it's so sore. Might be an age thing. Never had this in my 20s. Why do we have to get old, eh? Man City will score, I'll tell you that for free. Enjoy it while you can. I've seen this movie before. Mate, I've seen this. I don't get excited about Man City losing when they need to win, because I've seen Man City losing into the 92nd minute and still win. Aguero! But people forget. Dzeko equalised on the 92nd minute and Aguero won it in the 90 whatever. Foot Mob, not Footbridge. Download it, links in the description. Hi Mark, Arsenal fan here. I love your watch-alongs. Can you name the teams you think have a better chance than Arsenal to win the Champions League? Liverpool, Real Madrid. I'd like to see what you like against Barcelona. But I think Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona are the favourites for me this year. I mean, I wouldn't write Inter off. Inter are very consistently the best team in Italy, and they are a good team. I mean, they played a Champions League final themselves not that long ago. Aston Villa, I need to get it back on. Idiot. They're just kicking off, Villa. Club Brugge are in a 20-game unbeaten run. Yeah, but this ain't Belgium, mate. This is Manchester. Love seeing City sink, says Lewis. I still think City will win. I just think it's entertaining. It is all City at the moment. Pep has got cotton mouth, common syndrome from smoking weed. That's where he gets his football genius, says Lit. Oh, I thought they'd scored there, City. Phil Foden. Most underrated goal in Premier League history. Mate, I don't know, Mr. Wars. I'm not an encyclopedia of the Premier League. I've seen it from day dot, but I think Letitia scored a few, to be fair. People copy Guardiola, but not Sir Alex, says Umzi. Done that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's all City. And it's a goal. Kovacic, 1-1. It was always going to happen. It's always going to happen. I'm not surprised. I liked Kovacic at Chelsea. I don't like him now. But just drives forward here. You can't let him do that. It's terrible defending, you know. He picks that ball up on the halfway line, turns and runs straight to the edge of the box. It's crap defending, that. It really is. They still go out if they draw, but they're not going to bloody draw, are they? They've got, what, 40 minutes to score a goal. They're not going to draw. Awful defending by Bruges, championship level, says Lesnide. Yeah, but they're on a 20-game unbeaten run. Playing against shit. Barca are top of the league at the moment. I didn't think that was possible. Barca are beating Atalanta. That means Atalanta are probably out of the top 8, I would say. If what I was saying a few minutes ago was true. Let's have a look. Yeah, Dortmund slip in. But Atalanta drop out. Barcelona go top on goal difference. And Dortmund slip in because Atalanta drop out because they're losing. It's mad, isn't it? This is the problem with this format, though. Real Madrid were doing shit a few weeks ago, and they're still into the top. Good save there. Club Brugge had a good chance. I mean, surely that's got a look of a penalty on it. What's Pep doing here? What he's got his hand in the air. He's been booked. City needed a Madrid to get through, says Cinema Drunk. Have you ever smoked green, says Hassan. Now's not the time. Heard about Arsenal bidding again for Watkins, says Rips. No. I mean, there's no penalty there to Bruges, to be fair. Man United tomorrow. Yeah, we're doing this tomorrow night. That we're in a bit of a better position, but if we lose, we'll go out the top 8. Well, I love Bruges to score again, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that for free. Zagreb are 2-0 up against Milan, although it's gone to VAR. Madrid still beating Brest 1-0. Bayern still beating Slovan 1-0. Obviously, Barcelona went 1-0 up against Atalanta. Their goal was scored by Yamal. 2-2 Villa and Celtic still. Villa need a goal there to put themselves in the back 8. The Dinamo Zagreb goal has not been given because of handball. Girona Arsenal still 2-1 to Arsenal. Inter still 2-0 up against Monaco. Benfica still 1-0 up against Juventus. Leverkusen 1-0 up against Sparta. That could have a big part to play. If Leverkusen dropped points, that would knock them out the top 8. Same with Lille and Feyenoord. Lille in the top 8 at the moment because they're winning. Man City obviously still 1-1. PSV 3-2 up against Liverpool's B team. Atletico Madrid 3-0 up at Salzburg. Sporting losing to Bologna still. Sturm Graz beating Leipzig. Stuttgart losing 3-0 at home to PSG. Young Boys 0-0 with Red Star. And we've got a goal for Brest. Well, who would have thought that? Brest are alive. They've got 1 back. Some would say Brest normally would be about 2. Can they get a second goal? 2-1. Well, it's 1-1 at the moment, but 2 goals in Brest. Mark, who are you backing on Sunday, Arsenal or City? Oh, 100% Arsenal. I mean, I would anyway, but just for the title race. Yeah. City out of Champions League or Liverpool to bottle the title, says Mess. Who are Liverpool bottling the title for, though? Liverpool bottling the title for Arsenal, I would definitely take that. As a Man United fan, of course I'm going to take that. Liverpool bottling the title for City, it's not that much of a... Did you not watch Barrow versus Doncaster, says Ewan? No. Must have missed that one. Corner to City. City. Okay, we've answered that one as well. Thanks for all your super chats, by the way. AJ says he's a massive Brest fan. Brest have perked up here, says Lee Berman. I mean, this is just like... I'm surprised it's took you till game week 8, to be honest. Chili for dinner, Ahmad. It was really nice. Made by me as well. Liverpool bottling title for Forest, surely, says Ardo. Yeah, mate, you know this whole Forest thing, it's been going on for 10 years. It started from a jealous Man United YouTuber. And fair play, it's stuck around for 10 years. But, there's absolutely no correlation to it at all, apart from the fact that I was born in Nottingham. And I lived in Nottinghamshire. I actually lived closer to Leicester than Nottingham. De Bruyne shot straight at the keeper. The Brest goal has been denied. Yes, it has. Oh, big goal. Big goal. Hold on, Bruges. 3v3. 3v4. Just wait. Oh, he nearly scored. Number 8. He's made a couple of big mistakes tonight, I've got to say. Anyway, Milan have equalised against Zagreb. What does that do? Because Milan were sort of out of it, but might be back in it. Does that put Milan back into the top 8? I think it does. I think it does. Goldbridge has predicted it right. I'm starting to understand it now. Milan are back in the top 8 with a point with 10 men. Crazy stuff. Dortmund are out. That's where it is at the moment. But of course, Villa, even if they win, would go to 16. Have they got a better goal difference than +4 or +3? Even a win for Villa might not be enough now. Yes, they have. A win for Villa would still get them in there and knock Lille out. Oh, jeopardy, jeopardy. Finally, you've come to see us. Tim says, I'm a fan of Brest rivals, booty. Matthew says, have you ever seen Brest in person? Would you have taken Darren Huckabee at United, says Archie? No, he was a decent player at Coventry and Norwich, but he wasn't a Man United player. Club Brugge, there are so many opportunities on the break here. Have you ever farted live on YouTube, says Ellis? I think I have. Oh, Edison's there. They've had a good 5 minutes here, Bruges. Still half an hour to go, though. Ten Hag getting the Dortmund job, says Sully. I hadn't heard anything. If Leeds go up, they'll finish above United, says AJB. If Leeds go up, you'll go straight back down. It's nothing personal. It's just the yo-yo of the Championship to the Prem. It's gone tits up for Brest, says Mike. Ram Adani has just gifted a membership. Thank you very much, mate. Absolute legend. As you all are. 22,000 tuning in. Absolutely amazing. Oh, it's bad news for Milan. They got back into it. It's 2-1. Zagreb. Out Milan go. Back in Dortmund go. See, I'm understanding it now. The longer it goes on, the more you understand it. And there is a goal for City. It's an own goal. Vardiel with the cross. It's over. Can I put a different game on? Boring. Boring, boring, boring. I told you. Boring. I told you it would happen anyway. The stupid thing is, they just had a good 5 minutes. Vardiel again, the key. Goes in off the defender, 2-1. Oh, Zagreb's goal has been ruled out, but Real Madrid, I've got a second goal coming in at Brest. Oh, look at Pep with the most fake kick of a bloody drinks carton ever. He sort of like went, yeah, yeah. Let me look at this and kick it in a way that makes it look like I'm angry, but I don't hurt my foot. Prat. Yeah, 2-0 to Real Madrid. There we are. There we are then. Villa. I'm looking at the Villa game now. In fact, I might go Villa on this screen and go Man City on... Oh no, we'll stay how we are for the moment. We'll stay how we are. We'll stay how we are for now. So we will. That's what we'll do there. Look, at least Club Brugge have made it interesting. If I was Pep, I'd go defensive now because they're so open on the break. Do you go defensive? That's what I would do. Cleared away by Celtic. God, there was something in that chili that don't agree with me. I'm telling you that now. It's all happening. Yeah, so Man City, I feel like I've been a bit horrible here to Man City because I've been taking the piss and I've not actually put them into... They are now here, Man City. They're into their 22nd place. Club Brugge are still there as well, and they probably will stay there, but Man City into 22nd place. I don't know how it works. We will be live on Friday for the draw, by the way. We'll be live for the draw reaction on here. We like doing those. But I don't actually know how it works. I don't know how that. I don't know whether they're drawing the. I don't know what happens to the top 8. Are they drawing the top 8 as well? Because obviously the top 8 go through, and then there's this 16-team qualifier. I don't know how they draw the 16, and I don't know how they draw the top 8. So will there be another draw after the 16? I see Vassal. I thought this was right, but somebody told me it's wrong. Vassal's saying that the 9th place team plays the 24th team and the 10th place team plays the 23rd team. I thought that was the case, but then someone said it wasn't. And somebody said that Liverpool will get drawn out on Friday as well and they'll know who they're playing. Goal! He scored! He could have been heading off to Arsenal, but Ollie Watkins has scored for Aston Villa, and that will put them back into the top 8. He's had an offer. He's had an offer from Arsenal, but he's scored a goal for Villa, and it's a big goal for Ollie Watkins with half an hour to go in that game. Let's have a look at it again. Ollie Watkins, don't think he's heading anywhere. Ollie Watkins is probably feeling quite happy tonight. He's had an offer from Arsenal. Duran, he wins either way. I'm either playing for Arsenal or I've got rid of Duran. I mean, Ollie Watkins is probably feeling on top of the world. Whatever happens to him, he's in a great position. But here we go. Is that unselfish Jacob Ramsey again? Ah, you've got it. Jacob Ramsey masterclass. 2 brilliant assists tonight. He won't get the credit, but he should. 2 fantastic assists. You can tell I'm tweeting. Yeah, well, look, I delay, but look at this. Aston Villa back into the top 8. They wouldn't be playing a qualifier. They'd be going through. So, am I right in saying that let's have a look where Man City are. So, if Man City are in 22nd, they would play. Am I right? Am I right here? If Man City are 22nd, and that means that 9th play 24th, would Real Madrid play Man City? That's what I'm trying to understand. Because if 9th play 24th and 10th play 23rd and Man City are 22nd, does that mean that they play Madrid? People are saying Milan or Real. Well, why would it not be Real Madrid? Goal difference. City play Celtic. Why? Rishi says 22nd is guaranteed to play either. Why are people saying Man City would play Celtic? That makes no sense. How if you finish 22nd would you get the luxury of playing 21st? Come on, get with it. Assume the 16 qualifiers go down to 8 and each drawn out against one of the top 8 finishing teams, says Retro. So there'll be another draw again. United need to sign Ollie Watkins, says Ellis. I agree that I prefer the old format with the home-away rivalry, but today has been awesome in my opinion, says Bryce. Maguire or Van Dijk, says Tim. Van Dijk. Mark, off the top of your head, can you think of VAR controversial decisions this year in the Champions League compared to the Premier League? Better quality refs. Last week, DNA, the Benfica-Barcelona game was fantastic, but there was multiple decisions in that. Bruges have just had a shot. Edison makes the save. There's a draw on Friday to get to the last 16, says Jimmy. That's what I mean. So I don't think that's how it works. I don't think there is definitely a draw on Friday. So how can it be that we already know who Man City are playing if they finish 22nd? Penalty to Villa. Andy Hale says that they'd play Bayern or Atalanta. Doesn't even make any sense, does it? Has anybody got a website that we can look at? Jansky says every team 9th to 24 has 2 options. Can you be drawn against the team you've played, says Ellis. That might be something. Yeah, Villa penalty here. I've got it. I found it. I'll read it out to you now. This is straight from the website. But Villa have got a penalty here. This would put them into the top 8. They're in there anyway, but it would give them some clarity. From the knockout phase, playoff onwards, the tournament is a bracket. The teams that finish the league phase between 9th and 16th will be seeded for the first draw for the knockout phase and will face a team placed 17th to 24. The seeded team will in principle play the return leg at home. Potential opponents are also defined by pairings of teams. Final league positions, for example, teams finishing 9th and 10th will face the sides that ended 23rd and 24th. Teams finishing 11th or 12th will be drawn against either the 21st. Oh, so that's how the draw works. The 8 clubs that prevail in the knockout phase playoff progress to the round of 16. And I think in the round of 16, fucking hell. Are they doing the round of 16 draw as well? Because there's something here as well, where Liverpool will have an idea of who they're going to play, potentially. Oh, I don't know. It's confusing. It's very, very confusing. Villa have missed their penalty, by the way. Sorry, I was trying to figure that out there. That's a big miss. Oh, my God. Villa have missed the penalty, by the way. Ollie Watkins. Oh, my God. David Beckham against Portugal. Not seen one of them for a while. His standing foot slips. That's David Beckham against Portugal, that is. His standing foot slips, causing his kicking foot to kick it onto his standing foot and put it into Nasser. And the stupid thing, it would have been a goal, I think. But, yeah. Penalty missed. Unlucky. Slipped. He slipped. PSG are 4-0 up against Stuttgart. Red Star are 1-0 up against Young Boys. Sturm Graz are beating Leipzig. Bologna are beating Sporting. Atletico Madrid are smashing Salzburg. PSV still 3-2 up against Liverpool. Man City 2-1 up against Club Brugge. Lille are now 3-1 up against Feyenoord. They're home and host. Leverkusen also have a breathing space. 2-0 up against Sparta Prague. Benfica beating Juventus 1-0. Inter 3-0 up against Monaco now. Arsenal still 2-1 up against Girona. 1-2 Dortmund. Could Shakhtar cause a problem there? Dortmund could drop out themselves. Are we potentially going to see Dortmund mess this up? Milan, 1 goal would get them back in the top 8. Brest, 2-0 Madrid. And Atalanta, 1-1. Oh, what? When did that happen? When did Atalanta equalise? Edison, 3 minutes ago. It's all going off here because I tell you what does that do for Atalanta? They're not back in. No, Atalanta are still out. They're not in, unfortunately. Even a draw doesn't put them in. It's Lille, Villa and Leverkusen who've taken the final 3 spots. And a draw at the Nou Camp is still not enough for Atalanta. They're on 15 points. They need to win. Dortmund as well. They've dropped out now. They're not in there, even though they're winning. Does that mean that Real Madrid... Does that mean that... I don't know what it means for Man City. By the way, if you want to check all this out, playoff and seedings, FOTMob, I've got it. Download it. Links in the description or scan the QR code. Playoffs and seeding page is on there. Playoff matchups are determined by a draw in each grouping. The 2 teams on the left are drawn against the 2 teams on the right to create 2 playoff matchups. The playoffs are played over 2 legs with the winner going to the round of 16. There is a separate draw for the round of the 16 using the same process. So effectively, 9th and 10th play 24th and 23rd. They'll, one of those will get one of those. I'll explain it better. I think we figured it out. It's just more complicated than it needs to be. Yeah, it's on FOTMob. I've just looked at it. If you want to check it on FOTMob, links in the video description or scan the QR code. So effectively, if I was to show you 9 and 10, Atalanta and Dortmund, yeah, Atalanta and Dortmund are in 9th and 10th at the moment. So 9th and 10th at the moment are Atalanta and Dortmund. They'll be in a draw with Zagreb and Club Brugge. So Atalanta and Dortmund, Atalanta will get Club Brugge or Zagreb, and Dortmund will get the other one. That's how it's going to work. Which then means Man City and Celtic will get drawn against Bayern or Real Madrid as it stands. They won't get drawn against Celtic though, because that would be ridiculous. Surely Man City can't get drawn against Celtic. That would be absolutely stupid. So Man City as it stands get Real Madrid or Bayern Munich in the next round. That's a qualifier round. Bloody hell. I tell you what, it's not gone well for Man City, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, has it? Barcelona have got another goal, which will change the complexion, I think, a little bit on who Man City could get. We'll have a look at that in a minute. If you were a wrestler, what would your entrance music be? I'm thinking Ollie Murs, Troublemaker. Man City have ended this. It's 3-1. Savio. I don't think Man City can go any higher than where they are, but they are winning. Savio. I think I've always liked Shawn Michaels' music, actually. Parker. Mark, 2 my parlays are hitting. I had Inter, Leverkusen, Dortmund, Villa, City, Zvezda and Madrid. Also had a parlay on Inter that's hitting. I'll donate 100 to charity of your choice if they hit, says Mikhail. Thank you very much, mate. And so what do Liverpool get or benefit if they come top of the group, says Darry? I think you might get a little bit more money. I think that's what it is. It explains the draw system on the FootMob app, says Ketwalk. Well, links in the description for that. Check it out. Liverpool will be one of 15, 16, 17 or 18, says Benbow. There you go. Arsenal's Ollie Watkins bid felt like a panic bid, says Artistic Skills. I'm going to do a video on this tomorrow, dissecting that Arsenal bid, because we'll know more in the morning. But on one hand, it's ridiculous. On the other hand, surely it means they're going to buy a striker. Byron, welcome to the Members Club. And Christopher Wilkinson says, the teams that finish 9th and 16 will be seeded in the knockout phase playoff draw, meaning they will face a team placed 17th to 24th. This is Christopher. Thank you very much. Well, Villa, let's have a look at where we are at the moment. In the top 8, Barcelona have taken the top spot on goal difference from Liverpool. But if Liverpool could get an equaliser, they would take top spot again. Lille and Villa and Leverkusen have taken their place in the top 8. But obviously, if Villa were to concede an equaliser, they could drop out. Leverkusen and Lille have got 2-goal leads, so they should be okay. Villa, probably the most team in jeopardy at the moment. That could allow Dortmund in. Dortmund at the moment are actually losing. At the moment, Man City would play Real Madrid or Milan. That Atalanta goal has took them out. So it'd be Real Madrid or Milan at the moment, because Man City are in 22nd. I think they are in 22nd anyway. I'm pretty sure they are. Sporting are out. Yeah, Man City 22nd. They can't go anywhere else. They can't get any higher and they won't go any lower. Girona had a goal against Arsenal, but it's been ruled out as offside. Right, I'm going to change my screen here to the... because I'm a little bit behind on the Villa game. And the Man City game is basically over, so... let's go Villa here. And let's go Man City here. I'm on TNT Sports app here. Sporting out, lost 4 since Amrim left. There we go. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. And let's go there. Yeah, we are doing the draw on Friday, so we can go through that all together because there'll be a Europa League draw I'll be doing on the United stand as well. Brugge need to become Feyenoord, says Brawl. It's sad Sporting are out. Great start in the Champions League, says Attore. Yeah, I mean, look, am I surprised that Sporting have fallen apart without Amorim? It's a bit like Man City without Pep, isn't it? I mean, I know he's not doing particularly well at the moment, but Amorim sort of built that club. So they've scored now. There's a goal. Sporting have scored. I think they're not out now. I think they're through. Dortmund have got a little bit of breathing space, and Lille are 4-1 up against Feyenoord now. 3-1 to Dortmund. They're safe. Stuttgart have got 1 back against PSG, but they're 4-1 down. Sporting are 1-1 against Bologna. Harder in the 77th minute, which now puts Sporting back in on 11 points. But as I said, Man City, Sporting and Club Brugge will play one of the 9th and 10th team. Celtic and Man City will play one of the 11th and 12th team. That's how the draw will work. And 11th and 12th at the moment are Real Madrid and AC Milan. I mean, Man City would want Milan, wouldn't they? That can't change, can it? No one can get above those apart. Well, that's not going to change. I think it's going to be Milan or Real Madrid for Man City on Friday. $12 minutes to go for Aston Villa. Oh, I think we've got an Atalanta goal. I'm going to Atalanta. I'm going to the Atalanta game. Screw this. I'm not watching City. I want Atalanta versus Barcelona for the 2nd week in a row. Here we go. I've got it on now. It is. It's 2-2. That means, I think that changes the complexion again. I think that puts Man City up against... Let's have a quick look. Yeah, that puts Man City in the Munich and Real Madrid. So if Atalanta draw, that puts Bayern Munich and Real Madrid as Man City's opponent. One of those will be their opponent. If Atalanta lose in the Nou Camp, that'll make it Milan or Bayern Munich. Milan or Real Madrid. So I probably want Atalanta to draw, if I'm being honest. Weird what-if scenario, but how do you think Chelsea would be doing if they signed Amorim instead of Maresca? I think they have the players for his system, says John. Would Chelsea fans want Amorim's system over Maresca? I mean, I think Chelsea... Oh, I mean, they've had a bad month. They've had a bad month, haven't they? Where are Benfica? I haven't seen them at all. They're not in the top, are they? No. I think Benfica are in here. Yeah, 16th. Yeah, so I've got Atalanta and Barcelona on. There's 10 minutes to go there. That puts Liverpool back top, doesn't it? Of course, Atalanta could still win. That would change everything. Oh, chance on the front post for Atalanta there. They're a good team, Atalanta, you know. Having a very, very good season. They're in a bit of a title race in Italy. Not to be anywhere else. They are Italian. Yeah, the 3rd place. Well, they're 7 points off Napoli now. They're not really in a title race, but Inter and Napoli are in a title race. Inter top with 53. Inter 2nd with 50, but a game in hand. Atalanta in 3rd with 46. They've had a bad run, actually. Only won 1 of their last 5. But Retue is the top scorer in that league. Plays for Atalanta. Barcelona on the attack now. No, he's not giving the foul. When does the new camp open? Does Bayern scoring do anything because they've just scored? Good point. I haven't actually been looking about whether goal difference makes any difference. Well, yeah, goal difference could put them ahead of Dortmund. Could push Dortmund down. So keep your eye on that. That could make a difference, yeah. Same for Real Madrid. If they can boost their goal difference, they could push themselves up. But of course, Villa could still drop down. If Villa drop down, I mean, look, it's an interesting last 8 minutes because there are scenarios where if Celtic equalise, that will change who Man City are playing as well. So, Barcelona are coming down the left-hand side here. Nice little cross, cleared away. I think there might be another goal here. Oh, free header. Very, very powerful cross. And Ferran Torres can't quite direct it. You forget he was at Man City. Well, I didn't. Yeah, so Bayern Munich are 3-0 up against Slovan. One more goal for them could make it interesting. And Real Madrid are 3-0 up against Brest. Rodrigo, Bellingham and Rodrigo, the scorers there. Let's need to refresh this. Man City are going to finish 22nd. Nothing's going to change that. Bayern and Real will be who they face, unless Bayern can score again and maybe move Dortmund down. I don't know whether that would move Dortmund down. They'd both be on a +10. But of course, Atalanta, if they concede, they could move down. And if Villa concede, they could move down. Very interesting. What are your thoughts on Jonathan David now, says Sulai? I'm surprised that nobody has gone for him, but he's available for free in the summer. Matthew says 275,000 between each place in the table. There you go. And the last 16 quarterfinal and semi-final draws all take place on the 21st of February. Brest is always best, says Dennis Irwinsfoot. So on Friday, we've got the qualifier draw, which we'll be live for. And then on the 21st of Feb, there is the draw for the last 16 and the semi-final. Do you do a deadline day live, says Leon? We do it on the United Stand, yeah, from about 2 o'clock till close. We just cover it all on there. Do you think Villa will sign somebody with the Duran money? Yeah. You'd expect it. I think it's sad he's going. Is Duran on the pitch for Villa tonight, or has he been left out? Latest on the Mattis Tell situation. Permanent move is being assessed. Chelsea remain in talks, pushing for a permanent deal. Tottenham also keen on Tell, based on fee. Man United have called to ask for loan conditions. Yeah, I don't think United are going to get it on loan, are they? If other people want to do a permanent deal. Apologies for this. I really should have checked this right from the start about Duran. I presume he's not in the squad today. No, not. Yeah, we know he is on the bench. He's not been used. He is on the bench though. If he's an unused sub, he's definitely going, isn't he? Bayern have conceded a goal now, so they're not going to get that goal difference back on Dortmund. So as long as Atalanta don't lose, Man City are going to get drawn against Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Really appreciated it. I mean, we've still got 5 minutes of potential drama. Milan with a draw would change the City pair, says Marcus. And has Duran got a kid called Duran? Duran. Mark, thank you very much. Yes, you're right. A Milan draw would change it because that would put them into the top. We're forgetting about that. Well, no, I don't think it would actually. Oh yeah, it would. Milan would go ahead, wouldn't they? Yeah, that would push it all down. That would make it be Dortmund or Real Madrid for City. I think what City want to happen is Barcelona to score. And that would drop Atalanta down and give them Milan or Bayern. I don't think City are going to want Real Madrid. I don't think they'd be that worried about Bayern. Although the way City are playing at the moment, I don't think they'd beat them. Gyökeres is not in the sporting squad. Arsenal bid, says Josh. That'd be a very good player for them. I've always said I don't think Gyökeres will end up at Manchester United anyway. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. Brutus says, are Liverpool still losing? Yes, but they have picked their B team. Liverpool aren't full of strength. They've still got some first-team players. Just admit they bottled it, says HD. Liverpool have got a massive game against Bournemouth away on Saturday. I think it's common sense to give your players a rest. Aaron says, are you small in height? I'm 6 foot. I might be 5'11" now because you do. I've had a few back injuries, but I was 6 foot at 14 and I never grew any bigger. I shouldn't have said it. People get really obsessed about height. Here's Morgan Rogers bringing it away. We're into the last minute here. The Barcelona game is going to have a lot of injury time. Oh, it's Michael Oliver. It's Michael Oliver. I've just realised. Michael Oliver at Barcelona. Well, forget it. It's over. Apparently Liverpool have had a red card. They have. Nallo only came on in the 83rd minute, sent off in the 87th. Must be a big fan of Gerrard. I don't think anything will ever top Steven Gerrard being sent off against Man United. Gone in 60 seconds, the sequel. Atletico Madrid's game's finished. They've won 4-1. 5 minutes of added time in the Atalanta game, but there's a player down injured at the moment. Oh my God. The fourth official is that dickhead who refereed the Man United-Arsenal game as well. God, if you're a Barcelona or Atalanta fan, thoughts are with you. What a shower of shit. Arsenal have got a penalty. Dexbox says, do people beef with you for views or genuinely? Goal for Villa! 4-2. Morgan Rogers again. I will answer that question in a minute. You did do a super chat. But Villa are going to go into the top 8. What's the significance of that? No qualifier. No qualifier for Villa. Therefore, they will go straight through and have a couple of game weeks off in March, which for the squad that they've got, I think is really important. So Villa are into the last 16. They'll play in the Champions League again in March. No qualifier for Villa. Well done to the Villa. Teams playing out from the back again, look, pissing about. Ollie Watkins does well, leaves it to Morgan Rogers, and he makes it 4-2. Sterling missed the penalty, by the way. Morgan Rogers is the real deal. Dexbox says, do people beef with you for views or genuinely? Well, I don't know how they beef with me genuinely, mate, because I don't interact with them. And do they beef with me for views? I don't see why they mention me if I don't interact with them. So I suppose, I think some people do. The art is to just not give them any oxygen. Like somebody messaged me last week and said, oh, just checking in to see if you're okay, which was really nice. And then I was like, why? And they were like, oh, you're getting absolute pelters on Twitter. And I went, I just haven't been on all day, so in my world, everything's fine. That's the way to be. Focus on the good things. Don't go looking for the bad. It's like if you get a headache and you start Googling what it could be. You're going to think you've got a tumour. You're better off just giving it a few hours, having a rest, and if it goes, it goes. Don't worry about it. The Lille goal difference is crucial, says Will. It's over in Turin. I think the only game that really matters now is Atalanta against Barcelona. I don't think anything else is going to change the top 8 from what I can see. If Atalanta got a winner, that pushes them in. If they lose, it pushes them down. And if they draw, it stays as it is. So I don't think there's any scenario that's changing other than that. And we'll stick with it. About a minute to go. What's your favourite sandwich? Says Ellis. It's called a triple decker. You can get it from O'Brien's in Ireland. It's lovely. It's basically slice of bread with chicken mayo, lettuce, onion, slice of toast, coleslaw, tomato, and bacon. Slice of bread. Villa have won. I'm just trying to see who else is playing so I can have 2 screens on. There we go. Arsenal full-time as well. Lots of full-times coming in. Atalanta against Barcelona is the one. If this stays as a draw, but Barcelona are on the attack, cross comes in, cleared for a corner. If Barcelona draw with Atalanta, then Manchester City will definitely be playing either Real Madrid or Bayern Munich in the next round. If Barcelona get a winner, then that will change the complexion, and it means that AC Milan or Bayern Munich will be playing Man City in the next round, where the draw will be on Friday, and we will be live for it as well. Thanks for all your super chats tonight, by the way. Thanks everyone who's done that. Thanks everyone who's subscribed. Thanks everyone who's tuned in. There is still a chance here for Barcelona to win it. And, oh, corner. Keeper came flapping, goes for another corner. And also, don't forget, Man City's second leg will be away. Because they finished lower, they don't get a home tie at home either. Great show tonight, says Prince. It's been a battle, but thanks everyone who's been part of it. And I want to say as well, big shout out to FOTMob. Download it for free. Links in the description or scan the QR code. One final corner here, but I think I might be ahead of everybody else. Behind everybody else. Headed away. He's given a free kick to Barca, has he? It's Michael Oliver, isn't it? Here he goes again. What's Jamal walking off for? Is that the final whistle, or has he been sent off? Why is Jamal walking off when there's a free kick? Has he been subbed off? Oh, he got subbed, okay. Didn't look like a foul. Didn't look like a foul, by the way. Free kick over the bar. Final whistle. There you go. Man City play Real Madrid or Bayern Munich then. Interesting. Interesting. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. Been absolute legends. There will be a video going up tomorrow. I'm going to talk about this Ollie Watkins Arsenal debacle and whether it's a good thing or a bad thing and whether it was worth doing it because they've ended up not getting him anyway. Interesting. And we've also got the draw on Friday, Thursday tomorrow. Oh, and don't forget, if you like my driving with Goldbridge, cooking with Goldbridge stuff, tomorrow on my channel, I'll drop a link on the morning video on here. I've got a brand new driving with Goldbridge out tomorrow, which I'm hoping more people will start to like because I'll do more of them. Take care. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all in a bit. Lifestyle Bridge.